Welcome to the Scientific Investor channel, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. Today, crypto market is in red, deep red, and I would like to take your attention towards the patterns and trends which we can actually see in these charts. Now, you can also see this if you just look at these charts, you will understand now why it is necessary to understand that. Because you need to understand what are the odds we are looking for in the near future, the patterns which are emerging outside, how it is actually acting. You actually need to understand that. Now, at the same time, why is it so important to look at the short-term market fluctuations or the market cycle with the long-term market cycle? Because if you don't understand that, say this is a buy signal, and if you are going in without looking at the long-term market cycle, you're going to be wiped out. So understanding where you are in the current market cycle is really important. Now, along with this, today I'll also be taking your attention towards silver, oil, and Dow Jones. Now, why are we looking at that? I really want to actually show you guys what are the buying opportunities or get out signals which I see in the markets, which I am probably actually buying. Not probably, I'm actually buying those. And then I would like to show you one thing. This is the current price action, right? Now, the short-term price action and what we see in the charts now is something like this. Okay. Now, with that in mind, look at this. There is another chart which you get something similar here. And I was looking at the same thing early in the morning. And you can actually recognize this. You have a pattern here which was not completed when I was analyzing that. Now, if you look at this, you actually get the same pattern here. It looks something similar to this one. We went from the top to the bottom like this when we created a pattern like this. So yes, it's repeating itself here, and it's not like I have my crystal balls, but I was looking for a buying opportunity to load in somewhere here. And as the chart showed me that, I actually went in, bought that. Now, was that a rational choice, a clear idea of an investor, or just, like behaving like an amateur? No, I think I did something good, not that bad. It's still like catching a falling knife. Now, why I did that? It's because of this statement.
Once that happens, then the price will have rebounded. So we want to buy at a time of upset, and while the knife is still falling. And I think I think that the refusal to catch a falling knife is a rationalization for inaction. It's our job to catch falling knives. That's how you get bargains. But
now you really have to decide whether you need bargains. You are looking at value investing. You want to make value from your money which you have right now and get something better in the future. You really have to actually ask yourself that. Now, the explanation for that, yeah, I know my explanation may not be that clear, but I hope that of Howard's will be clear for you guys. That's why I'll take another 10 seconds of this video.
of the things that exist today is largely attributable to what they'll produce, especially in terms of cash flow, over the next X years. So you can't divorce yourself from thinking about the future.
So you should be thinking about the future instead of looking at the short-term action. Now, yes, if you want to go in and buy, you can actually consider about buying after thinking about the short term. Say you get more positions, or you get more units. Say you're buying XRP, you get more units when you buy a bit low, right? Now, why we actually have to look at the value investing and investing cycles. I'll take another second from this video, and don't worry, we'll just jump into our charts.
I think one of the most important things is to recognize cycles as they occur and where we stand in them and what that implies for the future. But I think it's really a big mistake for anybody to think of cycles as being regular.
You really have to understand that cycles may not be regular. It will be irregular because we human beings are doing this. Now, yes, we can look at this either like this, trying to connect, the close here, the touch of the wick here, touch of the wick here. But then when we actually think about it twice, we are not actually touching the, either we have to take the closest market close here, or we have to consider the wick. So there is an odds that it may be like this. Still, it's actually working out. Say if you look at this, you can actually see that it's 1 week here, another one here, another one here. So if we are looking at it in this perspective, we are still in a broadening wedge, which is a reversal pattern, a bullish reversal pattern. If you guys recognize value from this video, please do like, subscribe, and press the bell notification icon. Now, yes, that's considering the long term. That doesn't mean the price is going up tomorrow or in the next week. We are preparing ourselves. Now, yes, I agree the price is actually going down. Now, if you have been watching this channel from a long time, so at least last 10-20 days, you would have been, looking at the same thing. You wouldn't be surprised that we are here, because my viewers actually know this. Say we were actually forming this head and shoulder from that time, say from February 23, 24, and we were actually following this, and we expected the target of this pattern around 0.195 to 0.21, and now we are in that region. Now, if you actually consider XRP, you want to buy or not, it's up to you. But what I see here, I'm trying to explain that to you guys. Now, if you actually look at this trend, as we always say, you see patterns and targets, but most of the time that targets are not completely achieved. It goes somewhere around 60 to 75%. So I think this area is kind of a good buy signal. Now, that's my personal opinion, and I'm actually buying in this area. Now, why I say that? Do I have any support? You look at here. You have this head and shoulder here, which is a small one. Now you get a big one here. Now, if you actually look, zoom out and look, you get another one. Okay, I'll go through. But if you look at this one, you can actually see the target is here. And if you place that target, it's somewhere here. But the price only managed to reach here. Why? Because we previously had a support resistance zone here. Price just bounced above that. Now, if you actually look at the same thing, you again have a support resistance zone here. If you zoom out the chart, you can actually see that. So I'm actually a buyer as the price is at the top of this area. Now, yes, even if it goes down, I consider that as value for my money. Now, as I told you, I'm looking at this pattern to go up like this. And when I was buying that just 2-3 hours back, it was like this, and I was expecting something to be going like this. And even though the pattern is showing like this, it may not always come like this end. It may bounce from here. So I was actually buying. Now, even if the price is wicking down till the target of 0.19195, I would be buying personally. Now, yeah, this was the chart which I was analyzing in the trading platform which I use, say eToro, and I actually was looking at that. Now, if we actually zoom out a bit and look at the market cycle with the short-term cycle, we can actually see this Wyckoff pattern in the RSI here for the previous pattern, where we had these lows which were having the similar touch, and this one as a spring, right? This was the capitulation area. If you actually look at that, not the first bottom after the top, was the capitulation area after the second bounce. If you actually look at the same, we get the capitulation here, not here, because this was the low from this top, right? This is the capitulation area. And if you actually look at that, we actually got something similar here. Now, yes, this is not the pattern in that aspect. This is the pattern in which I'm showing you is a falling wedge, and most of the time falling wedge break to the upside. Now, yes, the probability are that we may come back down, test this, and then bounce from there. Why? Because I see something similar here. It came down here, it capitulated, and it went up, tested this top area, then it came back down, it got kind of supported there, it went up, a fake out, then came back down to the long-term support resistance line, which we were talking in the last video too, but that was considering the price action. Now, this is in the RSI. We have something similar happening here too. If you actually check this closely, you can see this is a long-term support line here for the RSI. We actually capitulated here considering the price and the RSI. Then we went to the upside. Now, yes, we have to see whether we are going to get these here, because we already made this pattern here. So yes, as Howard explains in his cycle, the book Mastering the Market Cycle, it actually states the cycles doesn't repeat itself, because the fluctuations, the time frame, and other factors may be varying. Still, it rhymes itself. So I'm looking at whether it's gonna happen something like this. Say we come down below here, retest this all-time lows, I mean the long-term support, and then bounce from there. Now yes, that's only what I'm looking at. You guys can actually inform me what you actually think about that. That's, you know, human to human, it varies based on your intelligent coefficient and how you use your thinking mind and the acting mind. Now if we look at this as the cyclical support resistance, you can actually see that we were actually forming these look kind of valid because we had these touches here which looks familiar. Here if you see that it was kind of short, as we moved forward it was kind of broadening out, and we have this wick here, like here, and here we were actually getting the similar thing. Now if you actually look at that, yes, we were traveling something like this. Now the upside momentum is actually increasing. If you are a momentum trader or an investor, previously it was towards the downside, our bearish momentum was higher. Now it's the bullish momentum. So I personally expect something to continue like this. Now yes, that's my opinion, right? It may not come true. I'm looking at the based on this one, which we explained first, and this one. Now yes, that's a bit blurred, but I'll try to look at this like this. This is a bull market, this is a bear market, and here lies the maximum opportunity and minimum risk. So if you want to be buying here as the price goes up with the risk increasing, it's completely up to you. Now I just stated that as my perspective. Now today, along with the crypto, I'm actually showing you guys the charts of silver, oil, and the stock market. Say this is DJ30 Dow Jones. Okay, now for me, I consider this as a get out signal, but I don't know how accurate I'll be. But I see it like, you know, the distribution phase after this long run up. As you can see, after the previous recession of 2007-9, we bottomed out somewhere here and started. Now yes, this is eToro, they don't have the charts for this here, but you know, the price was moving from this way up, and this is a 200-day moving average, and it was getting corrected and being supported by the moving average all the time. Now if you actually look at here, you actually get something like this most of the time during the distribution phase, the final pump up before the upcoming dump. Now yes, gold is already moving up, so it's not that important. You guys would have already understood that there is some kind of opportunity there in gold if you are in low leverage. Don't go with high leverages because these are so volatile assets. Say this is oil, it just, you know, when it closed last week it was somewhere around 41. Today when it opened, it came and touched around 31.13. This is kind of weekly chart of oil, and it is at the bottom, kind of historical bottom area, and for me that's a buy signal. I personally am buying that, but with low leverage, because you don't know when this will come down, kick you out. So I don't want to be kicked out from this market. I'll stay as long as I can, because you know, we are not looking at a 1 day, 1 month, 3 month, or a year. We're looking for the long cycle. Now this is silver, and as you can see, you know, if you actually look at the run up and the previous high for silver, that is kind of surprising. It's not only crypto which moved like this. For example, if you look at this, it was around $50 previous high, and it went down till $13. So that is 72%. So it's not only crypto which retraces like this. Anyway, if that was the previous high of silver and we are here now, think if you even buy it here, considering low risk assets, say without much of a leverage, and keep your stop losses as low as possible, say $1-2, or you're buying the physical silver, that's gonna be helpful for you for the long term. Because say even if the price is actually coming up to the previous high, you can actually expect the price to give you at least 200% of your money. That's without leverage. Now there are options in which you can go with into 2, 5, 10, 20. Now I don't actually promote that. I'll just say X1 or X2 is even okay. I kind of rarely go with X2. X1 is okay. If you guys have received value out of this content, please do support the channel, hit the subscribe button, and if you like the content, do obliterate the like button. I'll meet you guys on the next one. Bye for now.